Anybody say anything this week? Fellas, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, take my hand. Let me take you on a journey into the future. Imagine a product where you hardly miss a class, you hardly miss a homework assignment, and heaven forbid, you never miss a test. That's a great feeling, right? Now come back to reality.
But Derek, you're mistaken.
Oh yeah, why is that, Bogdan?
Well, because we made that.
Oh yeah, how could I forget?
You know, Derek, on the synapse level, computers and humans think alike. The synapses in our brain act much like computer processors do, using zeros and ones. Although computers lack one thing, the understanding of language.
So in layman's terms, people and computers have the same thought process, just computers can't understand complex language structures?
Exactly. Our application attempts to do just that. It is so
Whoa,
crazy.
hold on, Bo. I'm an important person. I need to email this guy about lunch on Monday.
Okay.
Send that.
So, getting back on topic now. Chrononaut is essentially an email client that is able to parse text in ambiguous phrases, such as next week, in a few days, things like that. It also changes the text accordingly depending on when you view the actual message. So I'll go and demo it here real quick. Here's what the app actually looks like. And see what I have in my inbox. Oh, that's interesting, I got mail. Oh, someone wants to go lunch. Have you been? How have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, cool. So Derek sent me an email and it says, let's get lunch Monday. So we added this feature here to make it easier to present. We added this feature to kind of see in the future, per se. So depending on which day you choose here, you can kind of see what the email looks like on that day. So if we go to Friday, the email will change to let's get lunch in a few days, or Saturday in a couple of days. Or if you want to choose the day of, it'll say, let's get lunch today. The same concept with what we've added also to find keywords like in a few days, as opposed to just Monday. And they could also count down using numbers in 2 days, for example. So hey, you want to work on that Chrononaut project in 2 days, or if we go to maybe Sunday, it'll say project today. Also, if you go beyond the scope of the day, then it'll say the event has already passed, and it'll return to the original message. So, knowing what our application's about, I'm going to hand it off to Derek to talk about the setbacks that we've had.
So, setback we had was we had to create our own email client since implementing in other clients would have been too difficult and time consuming. How the code was laid out in other clients, it would have been way too much, or it would have taken us too much time to be able to get it compatible with what we wanted. So first, we wanted to implement the Internet Message Access Protocol, or IMAP. This is the most popular today. It is more secure, and it is synced between client and server. Due to time constraints, we weren't able to implement that first protocol, so we went with the next best option of Post Office Protocol version 3, or POP3. This gave us an easy implementation for downloading an email, even though it was cumbersome. A couple other setbacks we had were grammatical formatting and parts of speech. So say I wanted to email Bogdan about going to a boxing match in a couple of days, or on Monday, to be exact. Our client only looks at the word Monday, it doesn't look at the text before it. So if we were to look at it on Friday, it would say, hey Bogdan, let's go to this boxing match in a few days. See, so there's a couple of glitches in the matrix, and we still have to fine-tune it. But overall, you see how our product is and the setbacks we had. Now, Bogdan will take you into the future and show you the big picture.
Thanks, Derek. So the big picture, expanding, of course. We want to be able to implement this app towards Microsoft Outlook. I'm sure all of you that have maybe desk jobs or use computers on a day-to-day basis have used the Microsoft Exchange Server Outlook. So that's one of the features that we want to use. Also, a database. In order to implement, there's so many phrases in the human language that we wouldn't be able to put all those phrases in the source code. So we'd have to implement a database that's essentially more or less off-site that would be able to have all these things. Also, learning. Just like what Derek said about in a few days. We want to have the client intelligently learn and figure out what to replace, what to not replace, what to delete, etc. We want to implement this for social media as well. So let's say you're on Facebook, you're looking down your news feed or whatever, and it parses those ambiguous phrases, maybe in a news app, and it will be able to figure out what it is to give you current information. Also, for our mobile app, we want to have kind of like an alarm. So let's say you get a text message and it says, "Hey, your buddy, like let's meet Sunday or whatever," and make sure to remember to bring this. So every day it'll remind you, and it'll bring up a notification, and it'll show you that text, so you can see the information in context as opposed to just maybe a reminder on a calendar app like Meet Derek or whatever. So now you guys see the big picture. This is how we want to financially support this.
So our product will be free to individuals and for educational purposes also, like a student. This will limit them to different features, but not the full spectrum. Now, we do offer licensing. Individuals and students can also purchase this licensing, but it's more so for corporations, businesses, and universities or other schools. This will give them like a month or a year or a certain amount of time to license the full product itself. And also, when you guys go to any website, you see advertisements everywhere. So that's another way to be able to fund our product and get a little money on our product. Now, the goal is to make life easier. This will help eliminate any confusion from the smallest meeting to your next interview.
So we want to make this product be available to everyone and integrate their normal lives with all the information that constantly goes around them and dates and etc. We want to be able to implement this with the big boys, Google and Microsoft.
So take our hands.
Join us in our journey towards the future.
And you won't look back.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Alrighty. Thank you, fellows. If we have Smart Dog, please begin to set up. Judges, 3 minutes for questions, please.
I'll ask one
What
time.
problem did you run into that led to this idea?
You said-
How did you come up with this idea? Like, what led to this idea? Where did you face in life?
Well, mostly, of course, being a college student, we have all these projects and all these groups that we have to meet with and work on together. And even with teachers, I've emailed teachers where it gets to be informal. Like when you start talking informal, it will use words like ambiguous text, like tomorrow and this weekend, etc. Instead of actually giving like maybe a date. So when we saw that we had an opportunity to do this project, we thought this would have been, at least for me, and I'm sure that there's other people out here that if you haven't seen this yet, I assure you that in the future, from hearing it about it now, you'll see it coming within your life, I guess.
Also, we noticed, say you're on Facebook, like you said earlier, and there was an event, on Friday, and of course you have a busy schedule and you missed the event. Well, we want to have the option to be able to pretty much hover over it, and it will pop up a thing that says add to the Chronominder. Now, this will give you a soft calendar, so every day leading up to the event, it'll give you a notification, just a quick one, with the text itself, and what time it is, and like say if it was on Friday and you looked in on Tuesday, then it'd be like in 3 days or 4 days, what have you. And you'd be able to just swipe it away, and then it'll go away until the next day, it will come back up. So, and also if it were to update, say they had to reschedule, it also gives you, we wanted to give you an option to stay with it, or you can just discard it because you have something else during that day and whatnot. So.
Any other questions? Cool. Thank you, fellas.